interest-bearing Israeli account in the New York Federal Reserve Bank. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new report from the Department of Health and Human Services urges Americans to do something, anything at all. According to the study, getting off your ass and doing any sort of physical or mental activity could have positive health effects.
Look, we're not expecting you to go to the gym. That's clearly not happening. Just walk outside for a few blocks and then come back home. You can bring potato chips if that's what it'll take.
For many years, the health department has encouraged Americans to watch less TV, but this report reverses that, saying, quote, watch whatever the hell you want, but at least pay attention and remember who the characters are, or just admire the colors. Colors are pretty. It's expected that following the advice in this report will cut down on the largest cause of death among Americans, laying on your back until your mouth fills up with saliva and you drown. Following the report's release, the most popular exercise now seems to be masturbating, but researchers warn that if you do it in public, stick to the sidewalk or you might get hit by cars.
This is the Onion News Network. Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. Welcome to yet another episode where you can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up whatever is on your mind. Our number's 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio here tonight, it's Ian.
And nobody.
So, of course, you can bring up whatever you want to discuss, and there's actually some good news out there, nobody.
Oh, happy day.
It was actually brought to my attention by Vincent, who is not feeling well, so he's not in tonight. Normally, he would be sitting where I'm sitting, but he's not here. But he gave me the heads up that in your home state of Michigan, that's where you originally
my former
hail from.
home state.
Right, you currently live in New Hampshire and have for many years, but in Michigan, hundreds of protesters are apparently coming down on the state house, like into the state house.
Nice.
Yeah, or the state capitol. Maybe it's called I don't know what they call it there, but it's the offices where these bureaucrats and politicians spend their time destroying people's lives.
The belly of the beast.
Yeah, the Capitol building, I guess is what it's called, in Lansing. And this is happening basically as we speak, or it was happening as we speak. I don't know if they're continuing to occupy the building after it has closed for the day, but I imagine it's 7 o'clock Eastern time, Michigan being in the Eastern time zone. Presumably the state capitol would close at around 5 or something like that.
Now, was it even open today?
That's a good question because, well, somehow they got in there. So I'm presuming it was open because it looks like they had... there were like state bureaucrats and politicians inside this place. There's a story over at NBC News that has photos taken, shared on social media, one of them by a Senator Dana Polhanke, and it appears that she is in the State House looking upwards at a gallery maybe area or some sort of area where men with guns, men with rifles, the quote from her Twitter at Sen Polhanke, directly above me, men with rifles yelling at us. Some of my colleagues who own bulletproof vests are wearing them. I have never appreciated our sergeants at arms more than today. So she's
apparently
she's
they
scared.
didn't do her much good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they thought they were preventing those people from firing their rifles through sheer force of personality.
Maybe so. But here's the story from NBC. Hundreds of people protested outside the Michigan Capitol building in Lansing today, with some pushing inside while the legislature was debating an extension of Governor Gretchen Whitmer's state of emergency in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Protesters held signs, waved American flags, and even carried firearms, while some chanted, "Let us in," and "This is the people's house, you cannot lock us out." Others tried to get onto the House floor.
That's an awkward chant.
It's a bit of a long one. Others tried to get onto the House floor, but were blocked by state police and sergeants at arms, according to the NBC affiliate WDIV in Detroit. A state police spokesbureaucrat told NBC News that it is legal in Michigan to carry firearms as long as it's done with lawful intent and the weapon is visible. So that's unusual. I mean, apparently New Hampshire is not the only state where you can legally carry guns openly into the state house.
Well, I grew up in Michigan, and it was never illegal technically to open carry a gun in Michigan, but unless you were way out in the sticks, God help you if you actually did it.
Well, apparently no one has been shot yet in this particular incident.
Things have changed, I think, with respect to open carry in a lot of states. But that was when I was growing up, nobody open carried. And it was pretty well understood that if you did, you were probably going to get shot by police. But that has obviously changed.
Yeah. Well, of course, when there are hundreds of men with guns versus maybe 15 to 20. I don't know. There's not that many guys that are on the police side by comparison. They don't have enough cops on duty to deal with this. There's a really excellent photograph on one of these stories where it's inside the state capitol building. You've got maybe 2 or 3, no more than that, cops. They appear to be guarding some sort of a doorway, presumably the governor's office or some other political, office, and there's like a guy shouting into one of these cops. Of course, the cops have the face masks on, and no one in the crowd has face masks on, and these guys are just shouting at the police like no more than a foot, 2 feet away from the cop's face, and the cop can't do anything about it. He's not doing anything about it because he's outnumbered.
Well, that's the thing that people forget when they think, oh, we could never defeat the government. They're so much better armed than we are. But the thing is, there's about 1.5 million people between our entire military and every cop in the United States. It comes to about 1.5 million people. There's 300 million Americans. So that's 200 Americans for every cop and every soldier. And of course, to bring every soldier to bear, they'd have to end all the wars and bring them home.
Right, because most of them are overseas.
Which would be a huge loss for them anyway, because the people want the wars over, but the bureaucrats live for it.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for when we occasionally develop the courage to use it.
Yep, absolutely true. So kudos to these guys and gals out there in Michigan. I hope that a lot of people see this and that they're energized by it and that they get out to do whatever kind of thing they're doing. I know here in New Hampshire, we're going to be back at the State House this Saturday.
Yeah.
Noon to 2 at the State House in Concord, New Hampshire. If you're in New England and you want to stand up for freedom, then that's going to be the place to do it. And given what I would say was at least 400 people turned out 2 weeks ago, I'm thinking the momentum's going to build. I'm going to predict a larger. I mean, I don't like to make predictions, but I think it could be bigger this time. Nobody.
I hope so.
Than it was last time. And it was big last time. Last time was the largest protests I think that I've ever attended at the State House. I mean, I've been to a bunch there, and this topped. I would say it topped the biggest 420 that we had there.
Wow.
Maybe, because I think we had at least a couple hundred attend, or 2 or maybe 300 tops at the biggest 420 within the last decade, but this was even bigger than that.
Yeah, it was.
So Michigan United for Liberty organized this protest that is happening now, dubbed the American Patriot Rally, to call for the reopening of businesses. State lawmakers are expected to vote on the 28-day extension of the state of emergency before it expires at midnight. So but before the end of this show, we'll get an update and see how they voted on this. Whitmer, a Democrat who's faced fierce backlash for her strict stay-at-home mandate, extended the order earlier this month until May 15th, but she eased some of the restrictions on public activities as the state's coronavirus cases stabilize. Michigan, however, still has more than 40,000 cases, and they say it's one of the hardest-hit states. The emergency declaration allows Whitmer to use her emergency powers to use executive orders during a crisis. Its extension is separate from the extension of the stay-at-home order. So just to be clear, she's extended the emergency powers until May 15th, but the stay-at-home order was slated to expire today. and that's what they are voting on possibly extending, as I
Wow.
understand it.
So 40,000 cases.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So 1% of that would be 400. So that would be like 200 dead, probably. If it's if you know, maybe. I mean, it's bad, but that's not the end of the world.
Nope. It's definitely not the end of the world. They're apparently, according to the story, they were actually taking temperatures of the protesters coming through the front doors of the state capitol building. So the police took temperatures of those entering the building
Rectally?
using forehead thermometers, according to
good.
WOOD out of Grand Rapids. Like the Operation Gridlock demonstration April 15th over Whitmer's stay-at-home order, many demonstrators appear to be supporters of President Donald Trump, donning Make America Great Again campaign hats, and in one instance putting on a dance routine with two girls wearing masks that appeared to be of Trump and former President Barack Obama. So, once again, the Trumpers coming out in fairly large numbers. We saw this here in New Hampshire at the event 2 weeks ago. If you want to weigh in, you're welcome to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. So, on one hand, these people understand that their freedoms are being restricted very significantly. They're protesting rightfully against that. But on the other hand, they seem to think that Trump cares and that Trump is somehow on their side, which I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, I mean, he's probably not as bad as Hillary, but
Yeah, more coming up here in moments. 855-450-FREE like freedom. This is Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait
on the counter. Now.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being
now.
detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone? You forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection, you can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want. Here's the toll-free number. It's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. Free Talk Live is brought to you by Bitcoin.com. Great time to go and learn about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, cryptocurrency. The Bitcoin halving is coming up soon, like within the next, I think, 2 weeks just about. Sometime mid-May, the original Bitcoin, BTC, is going to be cutting down its rate of mining generation, or whatever you want to call it. The rate that the Bitcoins are released from the mining process will be cut in half from, I believe, 12.5 is what it is right now, and it will become 6.25 per 10 minutes is what the new rate will be. Now, some people are saying that that is going to push the price of Bitcoin up. And of course, the price of Bitcoin has trended upward over the last 11 years that it's been around. So I mean, it's not going out on a limb to suggest that Bitcoin's price is likely going to go up over time. And of course, some would say that part of the reason for that is because the rate that they are generated is less. It will be half of what it is currently within the next few weeks. So that's a big deal. It's only happened at this point twice in the history of Bitcoin's existence. So this will be the third Bitcoin halving. Remember, Bitcoin started at 50 Bitcoin per 10 minutes, then went to 25, and is now at 12.5. So this month, it will go to 6.25.
Wow.
Yeah. So we will, of course, if you want to learn more about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, go to bitcoin.com. It's a great place to get started. If you've got more time on your hands, then now's the best time for you to go and learn about it. It is not too late. You know, it may be that in 5 or 10 years we're looking back and saying, boy, remember when it was only $9,000 per Bitcoin? You know, and we might be, maybe it'll be $900,000 by that time. I don't know. Anything's possible.
It could happen.
So check it out at bitcoin.com. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts. Scott is on the line in Miami. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? I know Ian. I know your voice. I didn't catch the other person's name.
Nobody.
Thank you for taking my
His
call.
name is Nobody, and you are Scott the Bigot.
Yes. Do you know what happened
that
on
guy.
this day
Yeah, he's back
75
after
years
however
ago?
many years. Go ahead.
Do you know what happened on this day 75 years ago? Do you know?
I'm
Very
sure you're going to
historic
tell
event.
me. What was it?
On this day 75 years ago, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his bunker, and his mistress Eva Braun of one day took a cyanide pill, and they committed suicide. But the point that
Best
I'm
thing
making
he
is
ever did.
yeah, 75 years later, the world would have been totally different. I'm surprised that no one even on the news prod, nobody mentioned it or whatever.
Why would
Hitler gets a
anyone
bad
on the
rap.
news mention that? It's not something
because
that
it's
anyone
historic.
wants to
It's
remember.
absolutely it's historic. I know, because Americans are stupid. They don't even know what happened a year ago, let alone 3/4 of a century ago. But that was
There's all kinds of
pivotal.
thugs that have died over the myriad of years.
Yeah, I mean, if you go all the way back to Caligula, there probably isn't a day when a tyrant didn't die. So why should we be concerned with this particular tyrant?
Because he more than anyone else changed the world. People can say derogatory things, which is 9 out of 10 times. But
what did he do to change the world? I mean, besides eradicating humans
he killed
from
a bunch of people.
But there have been a lot of people who've killed people. I mean, Genghis Khan certainly had a lot to do
Genghis Khan killed a lot more than Hitler. Stalin killed a lot more than Hitler.
Right.
Stalin doesn't really get the credit for all the blood he spilled.
I'm glad you mentioned Stalin. Stalin killed a lot more people than Hitler. The reason why you don't hear that is because
that's because he stayed in power long enough. He wasn't stupid enough to try to open a two-front war.
No, that's true. That's true. But Stalin killed 20 million of his own people, and what people don't realize is that the Bolshevik Revolution that overthrew the Tsar in November of 1917, the Bolsheviks were predominantly Jews. They overthrew Tsarist Russia in 1917. And getting back to Hitler, what he was trying to do is he was trying to save the world from basically Jewish Bolshevism. He was trying
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Save it from what?
Jewish Bolshevism is another term for communism. You never heard of Bolshevism?
I know what Bolshevism is. It's communism. But there's no particular affinity of Jews for communism. I mean, sure, Marx was a Jew, but so was Ludwig von Mises, so was Milton Friedman.
Right? Wasn't Rothbard Jewish?
Huh?
Rothbard, wasn't he
Rothbard was Jewish. So those are three of the greatest capitalist economists of all time. So, sure, communism is stupid, but it has nothing to do with Judaism. There's no real effect.
The Jews founded Karl Marx, as you said a moment ago, Das Kapital. He was the founder of
well, you can't
communism.
just say, Scott, you can't say the Jews founded and then cite one guy. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't do
you don't
that.
Understand. In 1917, the Bolsheviks, the vast majority of them were Jews. It's a known fact. They overthrew the Tsarist regime in 1917. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. So communism is absolutely positively a Jewish invention. It's a Jewish device. The Jews invented it, and what Hitler did was he tried to save the world from communism.
Why would you say that Hitler was trying to save the world from communism when his own party were the National Socialists?
He was a socialist.
No, that's just a euphemism. Socialism. He's basically
no, it's not a euphemism. Basically, in fascist countries, they did their socialism a little bit differently. Basically, they had an unholy alliance between big business, big labor, and big government that pretty much ganged up and screwed everybody else in the country because they had the power. And that's what happens when the government has power over the economy. So, Hitler did provide a huge welfare state, mostly with wealth that he stole from the Jews that he was killing and the other people he killed in the Holocaust. I'm not impressed. I think it's good to sell all you have and give it to the poor, but don't jack your neighbor's stuff and give that to the poor.
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what you're going to try to tell me the difference is between National Socialists and communists. Can you clarify that for me? Yeah, let's hear it.
Yes, communism is when they nationalize all of the businesses, the steel mines, the coal mines, everything.
Socialists do that too.
Adolf Hitler founded Volkswagen. Volkswagen means people's car.
Yes, it is. He wrote. You know how he did that? He wrote the design of a Volkswagen on a napkin.
Okay, I don't care.
That's the story.
I don't care about
that. But
that.
anyway, National Socialism.
You didn't answer the question. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you let me finish. National Socialism is also nationalizes business, but it's more business friendly than communism.
What a load of crap! Thanks for the call. Garbage.
I don't care if the socialism is business friendly. The socialism we got in this country is pretty business friendly. They bailed out the bankers to the tune of trillions, and the people to the tune of 1 1/3 million. But it doesn't matter if the government's controlling the economy. I lose.
855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want on Free Talk Live.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with Anypay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the Anypay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. That's where you can jump in and sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And tonight it's Ian.
And nobody.
Also, the Next Generation Wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at DivvyProject.org, D-I-V-I project.org. As we continue with more of your calls and thoughts, welcome. Of course, you can bring up anything you want. We were talking about some of the good news. There's a little bit of good news out there, and I've got more. Actually, an update about the lady that runs the Salon that we talked about in Dallas. She's making a stand against the Texas government, and it's pretty inspiring. So we'll get to that coming up here. But back to Michigan for just a moment, where at the state capitol building, what is described by the mainstream media as hundreds of protesters stormed the building, protesting, many of them outside, but a number of them went inside. And I mean more than like a handful. It looked like dozens of people had gone inside the state house, many of whom were openly carrying guns. And the police had to block access to certain parts of the Capitol building.
They got upset when we went through their building and we were just open carrying weed.
Yeah, you're talking about years ago with the 420s where we sang the Shire Choir carols inside the State House, which was a lot of fun.
Drug war cops are raiding the school.
Great songs. So there's another update here, this one from Breitbart, as posted in our Discord server. Thanks to Hi Guy for posting this in there. The Michigan House of Representatives has declined to extend Governor Gretchen Whitmer's state of emergency another 28 days, and instead voted today to sue her. Whitmer's initial state of emergency order, which is separate from the stay-at-home order, expires today. Okay, so maybe I had it backwards when we talked about it in the first segment. So apparently this emergency order expires today and requires legislative action to be lengthened. Negotiations on that front fell apart on Wednesday when Whitmer refused to make any concessions on the matter, asserting she has the ultimate control over emergencies. So the House voted to authorize their Speaker, Lee Chatfield, to sue the governor, saying that Whitmer's unchecked and undemocratic approach is not the best way. Quote, the current status quo relies on one-size-fits-all edicts that unfairly punish millions of people across the state without giving them any recourse or voice in the process, he said.
Well, guys, as a former Michigan resident, y'all have been screwing the pooch for the last century. So why don't you just give it up, go home? You're drunk, Michigan state government.
Wouldn't that be nice? Unfortunately, they're not going to be convinced to just let go of power like that. I wish we could. But.
No, they will. I believe they will. When they finally lose their power, they will go out in an orgy of violence.
Quote, the people deserve a better solution, and we can provide it, he says. The House also and I consider me skeptical about that.
No, when I say that, I'm not saying us attacking them. I'm saying that they will keep killing people until it becomes absolutely clear to them that they cannot maintain their power no matter how many people they kill.
Well, I was referring to the claim here from the House Speaker who's saying the people deserve a better solution and we can provide it. So once again, it's coming down to politics between the Republicans and the Democrats, and this is this whole thing is a political football. And they go, oh no, protesters, we're on your side, we're here for you, we're going to help, we're going to step in, and we're going to put this governor in her place. But ultimately, all they're doing is just filing a lawsuit. So it's all just the system playing with itself, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good that some people are on the side of the people, but it shouldn't have to go through all this voting. The governor gave an illegal, immoral, unconscionable order, and they're still obeying her. You know, and that every single person who's out there physically enforcing this tyranny is responsible for it and bears responsibility for it.
So here's the question. What's going to happen? What will these protesters do next if this lawsuit goes ahead and the court comes back and says, oh, the governor was completely within her so-called authority to issue these orders, case dismissed.
Well, I mean, at what I would be doing if I had that many people behind me would be talking about convening a citizens' grand jury and basically indicting the governor and every state employee who's out there enforcing things.
State police.
And pretty much, like, I'm not going to blame some cook in a government cafeteria.
Right.
You know, this is above their pay grade. But if you're in the direct chain of command, somewhere between the chief executive and the jackboot on the street who's actually doing the violence, then, you should be indicted. You should be drummed out of office. The Republicans and Democrats have cooperated to pretty much get a lock on power to the point where they both put up monsters and one of the monsters wins.
Yeah.
And that's democracy has been dead for decades here.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about this is, all this political wrangling is just simply designed to get people to believe that the system still works. See, our guys are in there and they're bringing a lawsuit and they're going to go get that governor.
Politicians are good for one thing. If you watch what they're doing, you can tell which way the wind is blowing. And so the fact that they do this says to me that a lot of people are starting to wake up, because if it wasn't politically expedient, they wouldn't be doing it.
True.
And of course, if you can get 400 out in the street, you've got 4 million angry.
Maybe so. Let's talk to Jimmy. He's in Eagle Rock, Missouri, listening online via TuneIn. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about a way you can get Bitcoin or really any cryptocurrency you want for free.
Okay, yeah, let's hear that.
Well, basically, there is this app called Fetch, SETCH, and basically you scan receipts and you accumulate points from scanning receipts, like grocery store and convenience store receipts. And you build up these points, and it costs about 52,000 points, which you get those points pretty quick.
I wonder if they're selling the receipts to businessmen to use as tax deductions.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would they be paying? First of all, how you said 52,000 points. How do you get 52,000 points, and what does that get you as far as cryptocurrency?
This sounds like a spam.
No, it's legitimate. It's the 52,000 points. With the points you buy, you can purchase things on there, like a Visa or MasterCard. You can get a $50 Visa or MasterCard for 52,000 points. So
and what is the point? What is the point equivalent to?
The 1,000 points is equivalent to $1, pretty much. But for every receipt,
you're going to get. Hold on, let me see if I got you here. You're saying you're going to get 1,000 points for $1 on a receipt, and these people will give you a $50 card if you have 50,000 points. This sounds way too good to be true. I do want to hear you try to tell us more about it.
The numbers sound kind of pathetic, though. It's
I'm not sure why anyone would pay you just for a receipt. I mean, you can fake those. More coming up.
The letters IRS give you anxiety. I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
You know what's really smart?
Wash your hands frequently, practice social distancing, and stay home if told to do so.
You know what's really dumb?
To ignore your immune system.
Right now, more than ever, your health depends on a strong immune system.
The experts at Immunicorp will give you their 7-step guide to immunity for life, for free.
Why? Because we want you to be smart and healthy.
Simply call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com.
Immunocorp has been producing the world's leading immune system products for more than 2 decades.
To get your free 7-step guide to Immunity for Life, call 800-446-3063. 800-446-3063.
Be smart. Don't ignore your immune system. Your life depends on it.
Call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com. Immunityforlife.com.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required. Only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgorismHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agorist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgoristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agorist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgoristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgoristHosting.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the Bigot no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Just dial in toll free at 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And when something sounds like it's too good to be true, well, there's a good chance that it is too good to be true.
But a counterexample is I hear Purse.io is back.
It's true. Purse really was sounded too good to be true, but it was one of the few things that that actually was true, and it was true for several years. And then we saw the notice, a couple of weeks ago, that they were going to go out of business in early June. And then they changed their minds after a major outpouring of support, and it's not clear exactly who came to the rescue or whatever, but apparently Purse.io has canceled the shutdown and they're moving forward, so I'm glad to really hear that about Purse.
Well, I mean, one thing that was going on was Bitcoin had fallen from 10,000 to 4,000 in about the same time frame that they were that was happening. So
no, it wasn't. It was it was probably around 7,000 or 8,000 when they made that announcement.
Oh, okay.
7,000. But what happened? What really did them in was
it's back up to 8,000 now.
No, it hit 9,000 yesterday.
Nice.
Today it's been at around 8,800. But what I think really the issue was with Purse, and by the way, the good URL to go to is saveatpurse.com. Saveatpurse.com. You can go there and get signed up and start saving big time on your purchases on Amazon. But that was the issue, is that, for instance, I just got a pair of headphones for the studio because every now and then headphones break, and it's just easy to order another pair, especially when you can save 15 or 20% by buying it through saveatpurse.com. However, when I went to Amazon to go and look at the item, well, they had the item, but they weren't going to ship it for another month at least. So the shipping times on so-called non-essential items went from standard Amazon 2-day or next day or whatever shipping to, maybe we'll get it to you in like a month or two. And so when, the saveatpurse.com site, the way it works is somebody is wanting to buy your Bitcoin or your Bitcoin Cash from you. And what they do is they buy you the item that you want on Amazon. They pay the full price on Amazon, but you get whatever percentage discount you've set. So let's say 20% off. You said, I want this pair of headphones at 20% off. Well, somebody pays 20% on top of the cost of Bitcoin, whatever the market price of Bitcoin is. They pay 20% on top of that in order to get you the item, essentially. And then you get the thing you want, but you got it at 20% off. They paid 20% more because they want the Bitcoin that badly, and they want the anonymity or whatever that badly that they're willing to pay that much extra. But they got to get the Bitcoin quickly. So a lot of these people will ship you things next day. I've had things done with Sunday delivery before. Like somebody paid extra just so it would come one day sooner rather than it coming on Monday. They wanted the product to get there on Sunday because they only get paid when the product that you want arrives in your hands, and then you go to the site, saveatpurse.com, and you release the escrow. So there's a timetable that's very important to these people that want to get the Bitcoin. Well, if they go on to order the item you want, and Amazon says, well, we're not going to send this for another 3 months, or however long it is, 6 weeks, then they're just going to be like, well, I'm not buying it. And so therefore, that's, I think, what killed saveatpurse.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because they only do Amazon. There was one time where they talked early on about maybe adding like an eBay aspect to the site where it wouldn't just be solely Amazon that they operated with, because there's no reason it has to just be Amazon. It's just they built a system that makes it easy to ingest Amazon wish lists and things like that, so they use Amazon. So maybe we will see some new developments coming from saveatpurse.com. I don't know where they're going to go from here, but as of right now, unless you're ordering essential items, they're not coming in anytime soon, so-called essential items from Amazon.
Well, I mean, for those of us who exist more or less in the crypto economy, any way, basically, our import and export is paid for when we occasionally change things to dollars or something else. So it's
let's bring Jimmy back on the line here. We can talk more about that in a moment. But he was telling us about an app that I have never heard of before, and I actually just looked it up, Jimmy, and maybe I wrote it down wrong when you were describing it a moment ago. You were saying people are taking pictures, and it sounds like you've done this, taking pictures of receipts, sending them into this app, and then somehow getting gift cards for photos of receipts. You said
how many receipts does it take to make $50 on a gift card?
I've entered in 5 receipts and got over 1,500 points. So it does take a while.
And how many points does it take to get a gift card?
52,000 points.
Okay, and the 5 receipts that you put in, what was the total dollar value on those receipts?
Probably close to $100.
Okay,
100 or so.
So,
but
and the app was called. You said it was called SETH. SE is in Eric, S is in Sam. SET.
Well, unless they're doing something that's nefarious with those credit cards, there's no reason for it to be that valuable to them.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. What's the app called again, Jimmy? I didn't get that from you real clear.
Fetch, like you play fetch with a dog.
Oh, fetch. Okay, I wrote down S as in Sam, so FETCH. So what is your speculation as to how the revenue model is working here with here? Because there's no way that if you send me a photograph of a receipt, I don't know if that's your receipt. You could have gotten that receipt anywhere. I mean, it could have come from anybody anywhere. How do I know that it hasn't been sent into the app before or whatever? Like, this just doesn't make sense to me. What am I missing here?
I wonder if...
Well, what they do for this is they kind of do a little subliminal advertising with saying, like, they have 283 products that are products where you can get like 1% more in points, you know. And they're all big name brand products, Fritos and Doritos and all that. But that's basically, I'm guessing, how they actually make money is by advertising through products like that.
Interesting, Jimmy. Well, so, I mean, I hope it works out for you. But now, you said Bitcoin was somehow involved in this? How's that?
Well, it's kind of a roundabout way, but basically, if you purchase a MasterCard or a Visa card, you could buy Bitcoin with that.
Oh, well, sure.
Or any other crypto.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't have anything to do with the app itself. They're not doing anything with Bitcoin. They're just giving out gift cards, and then you're selling gift cards for Bitcoin.
It's kind of an idea, you know.
Yeah, and that is a way to get Bitcoins. I mean, there are websites like Local Bitcoins or local.bitcoin.com. These are sites where you can use gift cards in order to exchange those for Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. That does happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Though there is a lot of fraud, so I would like to recommend people be very wary if they're getting into that. Thank you, Jimmy, for the call tonight. I definitely appreciate hearing from you. Like, if you're going to buy a gift card with Bitcoin, you have to be real careful that the person hasn't already redeemed the gift card, right? So they give you a gift card number and they say, yeah, here's $50 worth on a gift card. And then it turns out when you go to the, Amazon or wherever, you punch in the gift card number and they tell you, oh, well, that gift card's already been redeemed. Well, did you already give them the Bitcoin? Because if so, they got both the gift card value and they got the Bitcoin from you.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to buy used gift cards with dollars, and I wouldn't want to buy them with Bitcoin. What we really need is a network of people around the country who do what I do, which is, I do sell Bitcoin, but I sell Bitcoin to people I know, and that to me, I would like to have people in cities doing that face to face and person to person, because that's really the ultimate in anonymity. And if you're putting away something for your retirement and you don't want the government to know you had it, I hope you didn't buy it on Coinbase.
Right. That's a good point. So if you want to join us here, you can. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. I said I had more good news, and this is not a time where we're seeing a lot of good news, but there is a bright light. One lady in Dallas, Texas, who we spoke about within the last week. Her name is Shelley Luther. She's the owner of Salon a la Mode, and she is going up against a Texas judge and the Texas gang known as the Police, that they're trying to stop this woman from giving people haircuts and other salon-y sorts of things that you would do at a salon. And she is saying she's not going to stop. She's not going to close her doors. There's a man in a robe who's written an order demanding that she close her doors, and she is going against the judge's order, which is going to put her in contempt of court.
Wow.
This lady's got some huevos, unlike I've seen in a long time from a business owner.
Well, if she survives this, I hope she'll come to New Hampshire.
Wouldn't that be nice? More coming up here, 855-450-FREE. There's a lot of people that need a haircut here, too. It's Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,720, silver at $15.44, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,880. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as COVID-19 rips through the United States, a record 26.5 million Americans have filed for jobless benefits since mid-March alone. Numbers not seen since the height of the Great Depression. Mid-press news reports that tens of millions have been laid off, furloughed, or seen business dry up in a matter of weeks. The unemployment figures are actually a significant underestimate of the problem, according to a new study by the nonpartisan D.C. think tank, the Economic Policy Institute. Their survey of over 24,000 Americans found that for every 10 people who successfully filed for unemployment benefits in the last 4 weeks, 3 to 4 additional people attempted to apply, but were unable to navigate the system to make a claim. 2 additional people did not even try because of the complicated application process. Adding the numbers to the millions of underemployed Americans makes the likely total of unemployed top 40 million people. All of that from a 40-year low in February. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait. Just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The New York State Education Department has blocked schools from using a state funding mechanism to purchase facial recognition systems. According to the New York Civil Liberties Union, the Lockport City School District purchased a facial recognition system using state funds allocated through the Smart Schools Bond Act. The program set aside $2 billion to improve learning and opportunity for students throughout New York. Activist Post reports in an unannounced move, the Education Department changed SSBA application requirements, specifically barring funds for the purchase of facial recognition technology. The New York Education Department website now stipulates, quote, "The review board is not currently approving plans that include facial recognition technology or other similar self-learning analytic software," end quote. In an email, Deputy Director, Education Policy Center, New York Civil Liberties Union, Stephanie Coyle, called the change huge. Breaking Defense, a digital magazine that covers military issues, reports that Israel may ask for its U.S. aid early, possibly in a lump sum that could be as high as $7.6 billion. Mid-Press News reports that would work out to almost $21 million per day from American taxpayers, even though the U.S. is approaching a $4 trillion deficit, the largest in the world. And Israel typically has a lower unemployment rate than the United States. The report is by Breaking Defense Israel correspondent Ari Agozi, an Israeli citizen who served in the Israeli military and is close to the Israeli security establishment. Agozi's article states that because of the coronavirus pandemic, quote, Israel's Ministry of Defense and High Command have hammered out an emergency plan for an appeal to Washington, end quote. U.S. aid to Israel is normally dispersed in October in a lump sum that is deposited to an interest-bearing Israeli account in the New York Federal Reserve Bank. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A reclusive deity hasn't written a new book in 2,000 years, and a local rescue dog is adopted for a couple weeks. This is the Onion Week in Review. This week, in a devastating blow to the nation's laundry, 16,000 Americans were reportedly stained during the messiest day in U.S. history. Reports confirm that nearly 3,000 citizens received permanent stains on their good shirt from mustard splatter off a dropped hot dog, along with 12,000 cases of spilled coffee and other dark beverages, ruining Americans' pair of hand-wash-only pants. Government officials further indicated that federal assistance for the nation's overwhelmed dry cleaners would be necessary. And in this week's local news, an elderly Rite Aid patron stretches out a conversation about toothpaste to prolong human contact. In other news, artifacts discovered buried in Washington, D.C. suggest humans once passed laws there. A self-centered child blames his parents' divorce entirely on himself. And a night of uninterrupted sleep really throws off a man's entire day.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of the program. Of course, you're invited to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. With a little bit of good news for you tonight. The protests in Michigan today with armed people storming the state capitol building, literally inside, in dozens of people standing up against the police, standing up against the state government goons, and demanding their freedom to open their businesses, because most people aren't as brave as this lady in Dallas. They just aren't willing to put their own freedom on the line and their own business on the line, like Shelley Luther, who, as we reported, I think it was either late last week or early this week, has opened up. It was actually Friday. I remember it was actually, I think it was Thursday's show last week. We talked about what she was planning on doing, and at that point she was planning on opening up her salon on Friday morning, which she did, and there was video footage of the fire bureaucrats coming out and citing her for opening her business. So she was immediately given a citation. There has since been an order from a judge that has come down on her, and she is going to stand strong. She's going to continue running her business, and she's got some things to say about it, and I want to share that with you. It's Ian and Nobody in the studio here, but if you want to join us, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Specifically, what I'd like to hear from you. Now, of course, you can bring up anything you want, but is there a business owner like this in your area who's not getting attention, who the media is ignoring the story? Is somebody, have they reopened their doors, and are people coming into their business and they haven't been shut down, or maybe they have been targeted and they have gotten attention? I would love to hear more stories about business owners that are like Shelley Luther from Salon a la Mode in the city of Dallas, because she is a hero in this case.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel I've got a spiritual duty to keep doing what I do, and you know, I'm glad that I'm not in a state that's really enforcing a shutdown, because I would probably be in jail instead.
Yeah, that's a great point, because there have been people who've been arrested. For instance, in Texas, I think it was Laredo, Texas, 2 women were busted in undercover sting operations.
My God.
You heard about this? For doing
That's
manicures?
Like the king is stupid.
For doing manicures and doing like eyelashes for somebody? The cops responded to their advertisements on Facebook or whatever other social media it was, set up an appointment, and then came in and arrested these women when they offered to do the thing that was, they were told they're not allowed to do, which is give people manicures.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, as a former drug dealer, I'm used to operating in the black market, and there is some danger to it. If you're operating in the black market, best thing to do is start like a Telegram group for your town, okay, so that you can get the word out to people.
But how do you avoid snitches being in the Telegram group? Because that's going to happen.
Well,
if
basically, you would have to vet people. It's like selling. Well, you can, yes. It slows your growth.
Yeah,
but you don't have to grow explosively. If you want to build a network and a market, you have to be careful who you let into it. And if you make it just open to anybody, then it will lose its usefulness.
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly do some level of vetting. I guess if you have total control over who's coming into the group, and it's not a group that just anybody can add people into, then you may be able to set up some sort of a system to try to keep the snitches out. But that's what got these women busted, is people snitched them out, and then the police targeted them for undercover sting operations.
And the other thing is, if you're tracking this sort of thing, and if you're serious about operating in the black market, you keep a careful eye on who's a snitch, who's selling out their friends, and those
but you won't
people
necessarily know.
Well, you can find out. Like, one of the things that I did is I went to trial, and as a result of going to trial, this person had to testify against me,
and they couldn't testify with a black bag over their head.
No, they were not permitted to. And as a result of which, anybody questions whether this person is a snitch, it's like, oh, the video is on YouTube. That's undeniable.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody...
professionals don't tolerate snitches.
Right. But you had to do something that was unfortunately an unusual thing, which is go to trial. And so many people will not do it. They will take the plea deal. They want the charges to go away. And then the snitch goes completely anonymously into the night, and only to snitch again on somebody else.
Well, one thing that would really help with that would be some sort of mutual aid system for people for agorists. Where basically
an agorist is somebody who operates without government permission, basically does business.
Somebody who does any business. It doesn't have to be a basically illegal business. If you're letting couples have a nice night out during your local quarantine by selling them a nice meal in your living room, that's agorism.
Yep, it is now. It has been agorism. It's not just agorism now, but that has always been in most cities and towns illegal. So let me tell you what this lady had to say, because she's inspiring. She is daring the city of Dallas, this is CBS Dallas-Fort Worth reporting, and county authorities to arrest her after she opened her North Dallas salon last week despite city-county shelter-in-place orders. Luther told CBS 11 News defiantly, quote, "Follow the science. The science is Texas needs to get back to work." Unquote. She says she was served another court order this week on top of the $1,000 citation she received last week for refusing to close. But Luther refused to abide by the order, saying later that nothing short of arrest will shut her salon down. Walking out to cheers from a crowd of supporters on Wednesday of the Open Texas movement, Luther was realistic about her situation. She told the reporters, quote, "Apparently there's a very good chance that I'm getting arrested today, and I will do everything I can to keep the shop open because I'm not closing the store. If they arrest me, I have someone that will keep the store open because it's our right to keep the store open. It's our right for those women to earn income for their families," she said.
Every business is an essential business because somebody's depending on it to put food on the table.
Absolutely. And it's insulting to tell people that they are, quote, non-essential.
Absolutely. What's non-essential is the government bureaucrats.
That was the best line. I love that. Vincent put that clip from you in his video from 2 weeks ago where you said, like, the bureaucrats are the only non-essential service and they should shut down or something like that in your speech. It was great.
Well, they're the only service that forces you at gunpoint to buy their product.
Right.
You know,
so you know they're bad.
You get pretty lazy when you can just force people to buy your product when they don't want it.
Exactly. Luther's continued defiance of Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins' order closing what he deemed non-essential businesses has raised questions about whether or not he's overstepping his bounds. Luther said about the judge, quote, "All I know is he's abusing his power. He's got to be stopped somehow." Unquote. She insists her stylists are making much needed money for their families and that clients coming in are entering a safe, clean environment. So she's, gone above and beyond, of course. She's got masks and social distancing, and she's done all these things to, portray the idea that she cares and she's being super safe and all that. But it doesn't matter to these bureaucrats. They are going to come down on her like a ton of bricks if they can. And so far, the threats are out there. Now, the question is, has she been arrested yet? This story was from yesterday, and I did get an update from Eric, who's one of our listeners who is in Dallas, and he's kind of pretty close to the situation apparently. She says that local snitches, or Eric says that local snitches have been calling about her being open. The owner, Shelley, ripped up the Citation at an Open Texas rally.
Nice.
Which is awesome. And she has raised over $12,000 to help pay legal bills in this particular case, or pay bail if necessary.
Nice. I'm going to be sure to send her $100 in cryptocurrency.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Too bad you can't get a haircut. I'm not saying you need one, but
I do need one. Actually, I'm getting shaggy, and I'm caring more these days. I'd like to not be shaggy, but
got a political
I don't know
campaign
where
coming
to
up.
get a haircut. Hey, if you're in New Hampshire and you want to cut nobody's hair, nobody can give you trouble for that.
I heard that there are underground haircutters operating in Grafton and Manchester.
All right. Well, somebody send one my way.
All right, 855-450-FREE is the toll-free line. That's 855-450-3733. Do you know a business owner like this Salon owner that's standing up to the government? I want to hear about it.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with Anypay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the Anypay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. You may dial in over at discord.lrn.fm. We'll get you on the air, and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us tonight. It's Ian.
Nobody.
And I want to make sure that you also know about liberty.menu. You know, for a long time, libertarians have been looking for a great business directory where you could easily find businesses run by other liberty-minded people. And there were a couple of attempts at it over the years, and they weren't that great. But liberty.menu is pretty great. It's a nice-looking site. It works well, and it's free. So you can list the things that you do or the things that you did and you hope to return to do again because there are government goons out there stopping you from doing it. But you can get your listings up right now over at liberty.menu anytime you want to and do it for free. It's exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force, however. It's not just for the average person. It's for people who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. So you have to actually care about freedom in order to join liberty.menu. Use code FTL and you get a special Free Talk Live listener badge. That's liberty.menu.
And if you're running a business in violation of your state's orders, you know, that would be a good place to promote it because it is a relatively screened community as opposed to Facebook where, you know, there's a lot of cops on Facebook.
So there's a situation that's been brewing here. And so we had a lot of good news in the first hour. And now we're going to get to the regular crappy news surrounding this coronavirus crackdown nonsense that's going on. There was a story a couple of days ago that Donald Trump was planning to order meat processing plants to remain open. Now, this was published it was 2 days ago.
By what right?
Well, it's not well, I'm sure they would call it a right, but it's the Defense Production Act. You familiar with this?
Not in detail.
As I understand it, this is like one of those wartime acts where, you know, the government can say, you must do this in service of the United States government for the good of all humanity because we say so.
See, you shouldn't give your government powers during wartime that they don't have when it's not wartime, because it's very easy for them to just make sure it's always wartime. You can call anything a war.
Yep. And actually, according to the story here, the Defense Production Act of 1950 was enacted in a response to the start of the Korean War. It was part of a broad civil defense and war mobilization effort. The act has 3 major sections. The first authorizes the president to require businesses to accept and prioritize contracts for materials deemed necessary for national defense. So you have to accept contracts from the federal government, according to this.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is the federal government is putting things to their least important uses. They're wasting most of it fighting wars and building armies. You know, we need our wealth to pay for food and housing and clothing and real education, not what you get in the schools.
Well, right. And you would need your business in order to create wealth for yourself. Yeah. But he's basically, or the government goons are essentially saying they can use these words written on paper to tell you what business you have to accept, even if, according to the story here, this is Wikipedia's summary of the act, irregardless of a loss that has occurred on the business. So the government can not only tell you that you have to accept their contract for whatever product that they want to demand that you make, but that you also have to do it at a loss if necessary.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they were talking about earlier in the show with That's How Hitler Operated. You know, he would bleed a business dry sometimes, just irrationally. And you know, it's no way to run an economy.
No, and it is going to destroy any business that has to produce something at a loss. I mean, that's not the way business works. But government doesn't care about that. They don't care about you. No. They don't care about your business. They don't care about the things that matter to you. They have a bunch of guns, and they're willing to use them. Here's what else the law does. It allows the president to designate materials to be prohibited from hoarding or price gouging, which is, of course, the government arbitrarily deciding what something is worth. And we've talked a lot about price gouging over the years during certain natural disasters and how people should be free to set prices, whatever they want. And let's see, what's the third point? That was the first section. Any person who performs any act prohibited or willfully fails to perform any act required by the Defense Production Act may be charged with a felony that results in a fine of up to $10,000 or imprisonment up to 1 year or both. The second section authorizes the president to establish mechanisms to allocate materials.
That doesn't sound like the penalties for a felony. That sounds like a misdemeanor. I think you got that wrong.
Maybe. It is just Wikipedia. The second section authorizes the president to establish mechanisms to allocate materials, services, and facilities to promote national defense. And the third, so that's centralized control of an economy. The third section authorizes the president to control the civilian economy so that scarce and critical materials necessary to the national defense effort are available for defense needs. So basically gives them first order of preference on any business and can tell businesses to do whatever it is they want to do. So that brings us to today, where the news was reporting that Trump is planning to order meat processing plants to remain open as the nation confronts growing food supply disruptions from the coronavirus outbreak, said a person familiar with the matter. Trump plans to use the Defense Production Act, which we just described, to order the companies to stay open as critical infrastructure, and the government will provide additional protective gear for employees as well as guidance, according to the person who was saying this. Now, again, I don't know if the order has actually been issued, so this is one of those speculative news articles that's saying this is going to happen. The order sets the stage for a showdown between America's meat giants, which have been pressing to reopen plants, and some local officials and labor unions who've called for closures to prevent the virus from spreading.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear the government is doing the wrong thing for, same justification, but they're on the totally opposite side, where these people don't want to work and the government wants to force them to.
Well, and can they force the individuals to work? Now, it's one thing for them to tell, they can do whatever they want, right? But has it ever come to the point where government, president has ordered some business to operate or to do business with the federal government, and the workers say, we don't want to? Are they then going to come in and arrest all of the staff members and charge them with felonies? Or is it only the business owner who is liable to obey the government's edicts in this case?
Yes, it's a good question because, traditionally you can't jail a guy for not wanting to go to work.
Well, maybe they can. The question is that going to actually occur? What will happen in these circumstances?
They can do anything. They've got the guns and the jackboots.
Right. They can do a lot, but there's only so much you can do to force a person to actually leave their home, put their clothes on, leave their house, drive to work, go into work. There's a lot of steps involved in getting somebody to go to work who doesn't want to be there. And then you got to force them to what? Be efficient? That's going to be difficult.
Yeah. I'd just be standing there all day chewing people out. Right. It's like, okay, I'll get paid for this. I'll stand around the office and chew you out.
I'm packing one, flat of meat every hour instead of one every minute. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We'll tell you more coming up.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Studies show that more and more teenagers are leaving Facebook, but where are they going instead? Apparently to the hottest new social media site in years, the comments section of this YouTube video of a deer running in slow motion. Already, its comment section is seeing over 30 million active users. Facebook isn't giving up so easily, incorporating images and videos of deer, elk, reindeer, and even moose into their layout. But teens say that misses the point entirely. In fact, the site's one unwritten rule: don't post anything about the video itself. Teens say that's not cool. But with more and more people swapping over to the comments section of the slow motion deer video by the day, some trend watchers warn it may begin going the way of Facebook.
I was obsessed with it for a while, but now it's just boring. I'm probably going to switch over to Happy Fast Kitchen.
While we don't know for sure, we believe Happy Fast Kitchen might refer to the Yelp page for a Chinese food restaurant in Cleveland, the new social media site where musician Skrillex recently dropped his latest album.
This is the Onion News Network.
Should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending hard-working men and women from pointless government regulations. Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power, but there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org. Let IJ take care of the government so you can take care of your business.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything you want. Take control of the airwaves here. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And today, large corporations act as middlemen for our everyday online communications and transactions. Often they work hand in hand with governments. In the last few years, these centralized social networks have all launched payment networks. Bitcoin and Ethereum have not been scalable enough to compete. The team behind Intercoin spent the last decade creating an open, web-based, decentralized social platform to rival Facebook and Google. Now they can use it to roll out a revolutionary payment platform on top. If decentralized crypto doesn't soon gain mainstream adoption to power everyday payments, it'll be Facebook and WeChat's world, and we'll just live in it. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space. We think that's important here on Free Talk Live, so important that Free Talk Live accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Incorporated for advertising. If you think freedom's important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. That's intercoin.org. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts. And again, if you have any examples of business owners who are as courageous or even half as courageous as this lady in Dallas, who reopened her doors last week at Salon a la Mode in North Dallas and is refusing to close even under the threat from a robed man, from a man in the court system who's issued an order against her specifically, and also whatever other department issued her the $1,000 fine.
See, what's happened other places in history, I know this happened in England even recently, is a band of citizens can form a militia and arrest the judge.
This happened in England?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's footage. It's actually the same time the Patriot Awakening was going on here. It was going on in England as well to some extent. That's where a lot of the sovereign citizen comes from.
So what happened to this judge?
I don't know. That wasn't in the YouTube video.
Does the video actually show the judge getting arrested?
They're storming the courthouse.
Wow. I never heard about
this.
this.
They're not armed. There's just great gangs of them.
Amazing. Yeah, well, a large number of people can do a whole lot, as we saw today in Michigan, where the police were completely unable to do anything about these protesters coming into the State House. Dozens of them, armed up, big time. Very, very interesting stuff. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts, though. We got Watch It Burn. He's on our Discord call-in lines, calling from Ohio. You're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I've been listening to you guys this evening, and even the past couple of evenings, speaking about COVID-19, coronavirus. Honestly, one thing I'd like to comment on briefly, you're talking about the fact that the United States government is trying to make meat manufacturers stay in business for them. And not only that, I believe you probably heard about the fact.
Directly contrary to the 13th Amendment.
Yeah, and I bet you also heard about how the president ordered GM to start making ventilators, even though they probably didn't want to do that. Honestly, as a big fan of labor strikes and the like of that, I honestly, if I were GM or any of these meat producers, like Freshmark or Sugardale, I would just say no. I would just say we're not going to do a darn thing for you at all.
And make them bring them up on criminal charges and throw felonies at them, and see if they'll actually essentially try to call their bluff. Hopefully, is that your plan?
Well, the thing is, if there are thousands of people doing a thing, they don't have the lawyer time to charge them all.
Well, but
that's where the system breaks down.
But that's also why they target the people on top. Just like when the 420s were happening here that you were involved in, I was involved in, they targeted you because they perceived you to be the person who was in charge, and Emperor Evan, who was also perceived to be a leader of that particular event. They thought that if they went after the two people they considered to be in charge, that it would stop things. They were wrong, because the people who were out there continued to go out there. They continued to support you regardless of the legal status that you happen to hold at the moment.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about a polycentric movement is you can't just target one guy at the top, because there isn't a guy at the top.
But there is at the Tyson Foods. There is at General Motors.
Exactly. And once you concentrate the power, that's where everybody looks for victims, is where the power is.
The CNN Business is reporting on the response here. So we had mentioned earlier that Trump was planning. Now, again, I don't know if the order has been issued. The story's 2 days old at this point. But the story 2 days ago was that Trump was planning on issuing this order to mandate that these meat companies continue to operate. Not that they make meat for the government, but that they simply continue to do what they were doing before under the Defense, whatever the hell it was, Act. Meat processing plant workers, according to CNN Business, concerned about Trump's executive order that compels plants to remain open during the coronavirus pandemic. Meat plant employees are among America's most vulnerable workers, and some say they expect that their staff will refuse to come to work. Donald, who works at Tyson's Waterloo, Iowa facility, but is only going by his first name because he's obviously worried about being targeted. He says, quote, "All I know is this is crazy to me because I can't see all these people going back into work. And I don't think people are going to go back in there." He said that he's currently recovering after himself testing positive for the virus. He said, "I'm still trying to..."
He's recovering from testing positive? What, did he have an anxiety attack?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people who have this virus aren't actually showing symptoms. So that doesn't, just because you tested positive doesn't mean you're actually suffering. Go ahead.
I was going to say the swab actually does go pretty deep, so who knows? I'm assuming what they're referring to is he got sick from COVID-19 and is since recovered.
That's suggested, but it is CNN, so you can't really believe them.
It's just interesting that it was after testing positive for it, not after actually experiencing the disease,
Yeah, they didn't
which
say
makes
that.
me think he was an asymptomatic carrier.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Which is more
They're very
common than
cautious.
people are. Which is more common than people are giving it credit for.
Yeah, it's very common. Quote, "I'm still trying to figure it out. What's he going to do? Force them to stay open? Force people to go to work?" the employee asked. CNN spoke to several employees in Tyson meatpacking plants who do not want to be named for fear of losing their jobs. On Tuesday, Trump signed the order. Okay, so he did sign it. That would have been 2 days ago. And then, according to this...
I would have to quit, and my response would be to quote Frederick Douglass, who wrote to his former so-called master and said, "When I left you, I took only what belonged to me, and in no way reduced your means to make an honest living."
Well, what other comments do you want to share? Watch it burn. Go ahead.
When it comes to the state's role in the coronavirus, right? I'm sure, like, I live in one of the, if you've been paying attention to this, you probably understand. I live in one of the states that took some of the hardest crackdowns early on COVID-19. Governor Mike DeWine has been absolutely ludicrous in his, overstepping his bounds. Now, that's not to say I don't think it's a smart idea to, that's not saying I think it's a dumb idea to socially distance or to, wear a mask in public to stop spreading the virus. I think it's a very good idea you stop other people from getting sick. But the fact of the matter is the governor is greatly overstepping his bounds as far as this goes. And, he has caused a lot of people to lose their jobs. Now, honestly, some of these jobs I would say you could probably do without for a little while if you don't want to worsen a pandemic. But he overstepped his bounds. And what's worse is the state then started promising people, oh, it's okay, we'll just give you unemployment. But there are people that filed in late March and still haven't received a dime because the state is so inefficient with how they're handling this. I mean,
well, the state's inefficient with how they handle everything. It's just now people get to find out how bad they are.
Well, yeah, and it bothers me in a way that people see that, when they get hit in the pocketbook, when it directly affects them, that's when they start to see how the state mishandles everything.
But the problem is, even though the state's going to screw this crap up, they're not going to like come to the conclusion that the state is bad or that the state is inherently inefficient. They're just going to blame.
They just got to give them more money.
Thank you for the call tonight. They're just going to blame the current state. Oh, well, if we would have just elected my governor, then everything would have just been great with the unemployment situation, which is, of course, nonsense, but a lot of people will think that. More coming up.
Hand sanitizer is not an option. It's now a must-have. But where can you find it? Online at 2020safe.net. The highest quality hand sanitizer that destroys microorganisms and prevents transmission of pathogens. Now available in a 1-liter bottle with a bonus at 2020safe.net. When you order a 1-liter bottle of our high-quality hand sanitizer, you'll receive a 30-count bottle of Immune Booster, a $14.95 value, free by using code GCN at checkout. 2020safe.net offers many natural products to help support health and help you live a more fulfilled life. From germ-zapping hand sanitizer to immune-building nutraceuticals to natural stress, anxiety, and sleep aids. 2020safe.net has what you need in stock today. Just click 2020safe.net. That's 2020safe.net to get our 1-liter bottle of high-quality hand sanitizer with your bonus free 30-count bottle of Immune Booster. Remember to enter GCN at checkout and the bonus is yours free. Go now to 2020safe.net.
You know what's really smart?
Wash your hands frequently, practice social distancing, and stay home if told to do so.
You know what's really dumb?
To ignore your immune system.
Right now, more than ever, your health depends on a strong immune system.
The experts at Immunicorp will give you their 7-step guide to immunity for life, free.
Why? Because we want you to be smart and healthy.
Simply call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com.
Immunicorp has been producing the world's leading immune system products for more than 2 decades.
To get your free 7-step guide to immunity for life, call 800-446-3063. 800-446-3063.
Be smart. Don't ignore your immune system. Your life depends on it.
Call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com. Immunityforlife.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You're invited if you want to join us here. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Want to say thank you to Roscoe S., who is a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. That means Roscoe is contributing $5 a month to the Free Talk Live AMP program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It's a way for you to help us get on more radio stations around the United States, bring new internet listeners on board globally, and expose new people to the ideas of freedom. So if that sounds like it's worth the price of a fancy cup of coffee or a hamburger to you every month, then you can help us out. And you'll get some cool perks as well, some bennies. If you join the Free Talk Live AMP program at ampamp.freetalklive.com, you can use, by the way, credit card, you can use PayPal, you can use Bitcoin BTC to get signed up for AMP. That, once again, is over at ampamp.freetalklive.com. We can talk more about the meatpacking mandates coming down from the Trump and the federal government, that some meat workers are saying they're not going to show up. You can't make me, is what they're saying. And we'll see how it comes down, what happens. But let's go to your calls and thoughts here first. Gene, the Christian anarchist, is on our Discord server. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, yeah, about 16 years ago, I started down a path that I didn't know I'd ever take in my life, and that is my wife graduated medical school, and rather than her take a job somewhere, we decided to open a clinic. So for 16 years, I've been running a clinic, and I've learned something about the Food and Drug Administration that I want to tell people.
Tell me about it.
And that is, the Food and Drug Administration is dealing with the drug companies to effectively make cheap and effective drugs illegal in this country. Now, what they're doing currently with COVID-19, this hydroxychloroquine, is very, very effective at treating COVID-19. We have now 10 patients. My wife has prescribed hydroxychloroquine on all of them. They're all doing excellent.
You mean 10 patients with COVID specifically, is what you're saying?
Yes.
It's like they're suffering some sort of a Manchurian by proxy on massive scale. They're deliberately making us sick so the government can make money off it.
But the thing is, there's something called off-label prescribing. So doctors are able to prescribe a drug for you, even though it may be shown to be prescribed for some other use. In other words, hydroxychloroquine right now is used widely for things like
malaria, right?
Malaria is one of them, but otherwise there's lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. This is a very common drug, and people all over this country are using it right now, today, for those conditions, and they're doing just fine. The side effect that they're trying to scare everybody of is called arrhythmia. Arrhythmia means you're going to have a different, your heart rate will change. Well, if you look at almost any drug prescribed in this country right now, you will find under the conditions, under the side effects, you will find arrhythmia, almost all of them. And so what they're doing is they're taking the very, 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 very tiny chance that you might have arrhythmia and saying, oh my God, you can't use this drug for COVID-19 because you might get arrhythmia and die. Well, the chances of that are so tiny and the benefits are so great that it absolutely makes no sense. So you're saying
the thing is, there's no patent on that drug, and that makes all the world, all the difference in the world. Why did they fight against marijuana, cocaine, heroin? Why didn't they just sell them to people? Well, the reason is because they can't make a killing off it because it's not patentable. It's old medicine.
Cheap and effective drugs are being basically made illegal so that the drug companies can prescribe their very expensive, unique drugs that basically a lot of these drugs that they're introducing are almost exactly the same as the generic ones, and they use the exact same mechanism, but they change it just a little bit so they can claim that this is their patent, and then they force they deal with the government to make it illegal to buy the other drugs that are being widely used in Africa and Mexico and in Asia, but we can't get them here because the FDA says you can't. Now, you could, if you have some of these conditions, you can fly to Mexico, get your drugs, and then come back. And a lot of people are starting to do that now. They're wising up.
That's part of the beauty of the dark web, is that, like, I can now get ADD medication without having to go and pay a doctor, without having to, I mean, I used to pay my doctor $150 a month to tell me that I still needed Ritalin. I knew I still needed Ritalin, but basically I was paying him protection money. And because I was paying him protection money, the government didn't come and get me.
Now, in theory, you're saying you could get that medication on the dark web, not that you are doing that. There would probably be some sort of criminal penalty.
Well, maybe I'm treating it with marijuana, but maybe I'm not.
Right.
Okay, but what's currently happening right now is currently my wife is getting all kinds of notices from the FDA cautioning against the use of hydroxychloroquine for COVID-19.
Really?
Now, we know that it works.
Even though it's legal, the product itself is legal to use. And as you pointed out earlier, Gene, you said it was legal for a doctor to prescribe off-label use?
Off-label. Off-label prescribing has always been legal, but the FDA is sending out these notifications trying to scare doctors into not prescribing
Why
this.
do you think that is?
Because the drug companies don't like it.
I'm sorry, but you both talked at the same time. Say again,
the drug companies don't want it out there because it's cheap and effective. It's not patentable. It's a generic drug.
Even though the drug companies themselves don't actually have anything specifically to address this.
Yes. And currently, there's nothing.
But they want to develop something new and expensive that gets 18 years of they get to rape people for it.
Well, isn't there also something? Don't you think there's also the factor if the FDA is saying, "Hey, doctors, don't prescribe this thing that appears to be working to help people. There's nothing else that you could prescribe. This is the thing you could prescribe, but we don't want you to do that." Doesn't that suggest that they want more people to die to make this look like even a worse situation than it, supposedly is?
Yeah,
that could be. But let me advise
in the
people,
blood.
Let me advise people what they do if they go to their doctor and the doctor says, "Well, I can give you this drug. It's off-label. It's not for this, but we have found that it's been working well for some patients." If your doctor says that, and then they have to also, because the FDA now is cautioning about arrhythmia, they will have to caution you about arrhythmia. If your doctor cautions you about arrhythmia for a drug that they say is effective, look at the statistics before you turn that drug down, because it's really going to be a very small amount of people that are going to get arrhythmia, and the benefits outweigh the risk, and that's what people need to look at.
Thanks for your expertise,
The medical
Gene.
establishment does not have our best interests at heart.
Right, which is why they shouldn't be trusted.
There are people in it who do, but when you think about it, imagine how cold you would have to be to put these rules above people's lives. It's really time for medical people to break away from the establishment.
But that's what makes them money.
Yeah, it's true. If there were a couple of non-establishment medical schools out there, it would be wonderful. The Hippocratic Oath, even back in the day, carried a thing saying you won't teach anyone to practice medicine except your children and the children of other physicians. So they were always, from the very beginning, that tradition of medicine was about keeping the knowledge in-house, keeping it occult.
Right, and it still is a limited entrance club today, meaning that you have to jump through all the hoops that the AMA prescribes for people to become doctors. And if they allow you to become a doctor, because they may say, well, we don't need any more doctors, as though they know from some sort of centralized command and control situation how many doctors is the right number.
And they did that in both the 80s and the 90s, and governments forced medical schools to cut back on their production of doctors by about 17%. And as a that's why medical care is so expensive now. That and the stranglehold of big pharma. It's got to change. We've got to just start ignoring that system, and you can get anything you need.
The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Are you somebody that works in the meatpacking industry? How are people around you responding to this new order? Came apparently 2 days ago by Donald Trump, ordering people in the business, the plants and such, to continue operating. What's going to happen if people don't show up? They're talking about not showing up. Will that mean that, there's going to be a big hiring thing within the industry, or how do you think it's going to all play out? You're welcome to join us here, and hour number 3 is next. 855-450-FREE.
Saddle up. It's new Dynamite for horses.
They're always on the move, always grazing 17 to 20 hours a day.
In their natural state, they eat only grass.
Picture a pasture or a plain.
The nice big pasture that's very green.
The grasses and the different plants.
That's your basic forage.
I don't think there's anywhere on the planet where you have consistent, healthy pasture all year.
So we start supplementing with the hay and the grain. The grain has a lot of sugars in it, and the hay, the dried out hay, loses a lot of nutrients.
Curing under the sun, it loses about 80% of the beta carotene, omega-3s, and vitamin E.
So Ed has figured out how to freeze dry the greenness in the grass.
I said, why don't I make a supplement that's as close to healthy pasture as I could get?
All of the nutrients that are lost when the grass becomes the hay. I like Dynavite. It's simple, it's straightforward. My horses get what they need. I can see immediate results.
Check out new Dynavite for horses at Dynavite.com.
It doesn't take much, just one little scoop. I get my Dynavite from DINOVITE.com.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,720, silver at $15.44, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,880. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as COVID-19 rips through the United States, a record 26.5 million Americans have filed for jobless benefits since mid-March alone. Numbers not seen since the height of the Great Depression. Mid-press news reports that tens of millions have been laid off, furloughed, or seen business dry up in a matter of weeks. The unemployment figures are actually a significant underestimate of the problem, according to a new study by the nonpartisan D.C. think tank, the Economic Policy Institute. Their survey of over 24,000 Americans found that for every 10 people who successfully filed for unemployment benefits in the last 4 weeks, 3 to 4 additional people attempted to apply, but were unable to navigate the system to make a claim. 2 additional people did not even try because of the complicated application process. Adding the numbers to the millions of underemployed Americans makes the likely total of unemployed top 40 million people. All of that from a 40-year low in February.
Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin.
Your news now continues. The New York State Education Department has blocked schools from using a state funding mechanism to purchase facial recognition systems. According to the New York Civil Liberties Union, the Lockport City School District purchased a facial recognition system using state funds allocated through the Smart Schools Bond Act. The program set aside $2 billion to improve learning and opportunity for students throughout New York. Activist Post reports in an unannounced move, the Education Department changed SSBA application requirements, specifically barring funds for the purchase of facial recognition technology. The New York Education Department website now stipulates, quote, "The review board is not currently approving plans that include facial recognition technology or other similar self-learning analytic software," end quote. In an email, Deputy Director, Education Policy Center, New York Civil Liberties Union, Stephanie Coyle, called the change huge. Breaking Defense, a digital magazine that covers military issues, reports that Israel may ask for its U.S. aid early, possibly in a lump sum that could be as high as $7.6 billion. Mid-Press News reports that would work out to almost $21 million per day from American taxpayers, even though the U.S. is approaching a $4 trillion deficit, the largest in the world. And Israel typically has a lower unemployment rate than the United States. The report is by Breaking Defense Israel correspondent Ari Agozi, an Israeli citizen who served in the Israeli military and is close to the Israeli security establishment. Agozi's article states that because of the coronavirus pandemic, quote, Israel's Ministry of Defense and High Command have hammered out an emergency plan for an appeal to Washington, end quote. U.S. aid to Israel is normally dispersed in October in a lump sum that is deposited to an interest-bearing Israeli account in the New York Federal Reserve Bank.
Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Police in Lehman, Michigan describe a local student's recently foiled plans to commit a deadly school shooting as, quote, embarrassingly bad. Authorities apprehended 17-year-old Trent Bayer Thursday after finding him in an empty hallway struggling to load a pathetically small caliber pistol while simultaneously attempting to unfold an inaccurate map of the school. Lehman Police Chief Ethan Holman elaborated several ways Bayer's strategy could have been more effective, including setting off a homemade explosive in the teacher's lounge, executing popular students first, and at the very least purchasing some military fatigues.
You're not going to intimidate anyone by wearing a tucked-in button-down shirt and pleated trousers.
In other news, a jar of change on a dresser is sadly factoring into a number of financial decisions. A teen zebra doesn't give a shit how much you honk, it's not getting out of the road. And Dad's new 20-year-old Thai boyfriend really sucks at categories. And don't forget to never ever drink Pepsi Cola, whose dipshit marketing team backed out of a full-page ad buy at the last minute. For more news, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour. Plenty of time for you to join us on the radio. You can take control of the airwaves. Bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Tonight it's Ian here.
And nobody.
We're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts. You can also call us on the Discord server. What is Discord? It is an application. We don't own it. They're not an advertiser. It is centralized, so it's not decentralized. It's run by some corporation. But they do a pretty good job of giving people a chat server that they can have multiple chat rooms. They can use voice chat. They can use text chat. And actually, I just saw that apparently there's now a video option with Discord because everybody's a lot of people are being forced to stay at home. So many business meetings and family gatherings are now happening over video. So apparently Discord's getting into that game now too.
Yeah, big tech is making a killing off COVID.
Well, I mean, what they can make, people are probably not spending as much as they otherwise would because many people don't have significant income coming in. Now, while some people are collecting unemployment, as one of our callers pointed out earlier, it is not easy to get the unemployment from the state because they're deluged with, a ton of applications. And, of course, they're the state, so they suck at everything they do. And so they're not moving fast through those applications. So I heard that in Florida, the website's been crashing. Where people have been trying to apply for this. So for some people, their full-time job is now trying to get unemployment.
Wow.
That's what I've heard. So
wow, that's awful.
Let's talk to you with your calls and thoughts. But if you want to join our Discord server, download the Discord app. It's available what's called cross-platform, meaning for your smartphone, meaning for your laptop, whatever operating system that you're using. There's a Discord likely for you. You download the app, you create an account, and then go in your web browser and type in discord.lrn.fm or discord.freetalklive.com. Either one of those works, and that'll give you it'll just jump you right into our chat server in your Discord app, which is where our next caller is waiting, because when you call on Discord, you sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. We got 4 call-in lines right there at the top of the list of chat rooms that we have. And we have Gopal, Agorist or Die is on the line in California on Discord. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi there. Should we call you Gopal for short, or do we have to say the whole thing?
Oh, it's like Gopal is how you pronounce it.
Gopal.
Like Paul. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Like Paul McCartney.
Very good. So what's on your mind tonight, Gopal?
Doppelganger himself.
Grandpa.
No, like so many other people out here stuck in the machine, I have aspirations. I have Agorist in my tag here in my handle, but I am a corporate pawn, right now, just keeping my head down and going to my Uncle Sam job, but at least I have plans of moving, at least I know what the Free State Project is, and I have my plan to move to New Hampshire. I've been a vendor at Agorist Alley once, but I just wanted to chime in from a yogic perspective, who would just caution against and no means am I strict in this or any perfect preacher of any sense. All I just wanted to say was from a Eastern philosophy, they would caution against eating meat and voting in general, because these things are just wastes of time and not considered to be in the mode of goodness.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if more than half of the people were coming out and voting for Ron Paul, that would send a very powerful message.
I met Ron Paul in 2008 when he had his gathering in D.C.
Yeah.
I have his signed flag in my room here. It's a pretty lit day.
Nobody, did you hear the news that Justin Amash is now thrown in his hat into the Libertarian Party presidential?
Oh, he's made it official?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That happened yesterday.
See,
I heard about
he's
it.
definitely not Motley Caucus material, but I mean, I like Amash. He's got a, it would be interesting to see if we go Amash or Vermin.
Yeah, I'm still for Vermin. Go Vermin Supreme all the way. So, Gopal, what else did you want to say today? By the way, how would you describe what an agorist is?
An agorist is just somebody that does consensual profits. Not all profits are bad. It's consensual, voluntary profits without any taxation from the state, without any connection to the state.
So are you doing agorism? Do you have a side hustle?
I do have some agorist activities that I do that I don't feel like I'm at liberty to just give out on the radio.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Makes
Fair
sense.
enough.
And I've always had those, and I've always done them in a peaceful way.
Cool. Anything else you want to share tonight?
Well, I just wish I could see you guys out there at PorkFest this time. It might be a little bit
I don't know
have all
if
my,
Free Talk Live is going to be at the Porcupine Freedom Festival. We haven't been there for a few years, several years.
Get out of town. Why is that?
But we're going to be at Fork Fest, which is the decentralized alternative festival that is going to be happening June 29th until July 5th. And that is going to be the place where lots of the cool folks are going to be hanging out because there's no one who's in charge. If you like agorism, then this is truly the Agorist Festival because you don't have to ask any permission to set up shop.
Yeah, there's.
Wow, I didn't know Pork Fest was uncool at this point.
Oh, it's not. I mean,
Pork
I
Fest is
go
fine.
up. I stay for both weeks. We have it on adjacent weeks, and I enjoy both experiences. It's just. Pork Fest feels a little more minarchist, and Fork Fest feels a little more anarchist.
The Porcupine
to me.
Freedom Festival is more. It's centrally planned. I mean, they have this thing. You mentioned it. It's Agora Alley, which came about on its own volition. It kind of was created naturally. And are you taking a toke there? Just curious. I hear noises. Is that you?
Sorry, I can see nobody vaping on the Discord.
Yeah, well, yours is way
Twitch.
louder. Yours is way louder than his.
Yeah, you're ripping it.
Yeah. Anyway, what happened at the Porcupine Freedom Festival, unfortunately, was this thing called Agora Valley or Alley or whatever it was called, came about naturally because that's where people were setting up shop because it was kind of like the path where everybody was walking down to get to the pavilion where all the events were happening. And so it became this sort of desirable real estate. And people would, they'd sign up for that real estate a year in advance. As soon as the Porcupine Freedom Festival was over, they would lock in their campsite for next year because it was really good real estate. And eventually the Free State Project organizers got the idea of, well, we should monetize this. And so they went ahead and they bought up all of that real estate and then resold it to the people that wanted to vend there. And then they came with a bunch of rules, and that came with higher prices year after year.
Wow.
The rules increased, the benefits decreased. So like it used to be that you'd get like 4 passes to the event, then they cut that down to 2 passes, then I think they cut it again or something like that. And so it really turned off a lot of people. And I actually had the pleasure of attending the Porcupine Freedom Festival in 2019 for the first time in several years, and I enjoyed it. It was still a good event. It's just that they hadn't learned their lesson. The organizers hadn't figured out that they should just let this thing go. And the marketplace actually punished them for it because not only has the Porcupine Freedom Festival had a tough time getting as many attendees as it did, say, 6 or 7 years ago, but also the vendors evacuated from Agora Valley this time. There was almost no. I've heard it called both. I called it Agora Valley, and I called it Agora Alley, and someone corrected me to Valley, and it's been corrected both ways. But either way, that place.
Like Grateful Dead shows, we call it Shakedown Street.
Yeah, but in this case, it was empty.
Right.
Okay, but in this case, it was empty. There were literally 2 vendors. That
There's
showed
nothing
up.
shaking on Shakedown Street.
Not last year.
Used to be the heart of town.
The heart of town.
Yeah.
Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. You just gotta poke around.
So it didn't work. Though no one was buying these spaces, and what the marketplace did was they created their own alley. They created something called Where It's At, which was a few of the streets down, so like these little streets with the RV park area, and so a few streets down, which was out of the Agora Valley. Then they had this big area where all the vendors were set up. They didn't have to pay any extra. They just rented the campsite and set up.
Because they can't control the idea of people gathering together and trading.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot older than any organization we're involved in.
So, yeah, unfortunately, the Porcupine Freedom Festival it sort of lost its way a little bit over all the years, but that's one of the reasons why Fork Fest came about 3 years ago, and this will be the 4th year for Fork Fest. You can go to forkfest.party. That's F-O-R-K, fork, like forking off from forkfest.party, June 29th through July 5th. Register now. Hopefully we'll see you there. And thanks for the call. More coming up.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Poor Sam was a mess. Always itching, licking. His paws were soaking wet. He had bald spots on his back. DINOVITE.com. 2 weeks after he started Dynamite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. Dynamite is nutrition. Dynamite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynamite from DINOVITE.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. You can join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm, and with you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And nobody.
So I've got a story here, nobody, that just the headline alone is just screams pathetic. It's written by 3 authors. So it took 3 different reporters to put this story together.
Sometimes it takes a lot of blind mice.
Yeah. Carla Johnson, Adam Geller, and Eric Olson at the Associated Press. Headline: Easing lockdowns makes day-to-day choices more complicated.
Duh. Yeah, you have choices.
Right. Now you've got more choices when the lockdowns ease, and they're complaining about that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If you don't want to make choices, just pick somebody and follow whatever they do. You know,
Sure, there are
it
people who
doesn't
tell you
have
what
to
to
be
do.
me. Probably not. I'm not. I should not be your role model.
Right.
Okay. So don't worry about what I'm doing. Just find somebody to tell you what to do.
There are people out there that would love to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, many of
if
them
you're
are
pretty,
already.
I might tell you what to do.
Yeah,
But
many of them are already in politics. So here's the story. Things were so much clearer. And this is purportedly news from the AP, right? It reads like an opinion piece, though. Now with things were so
all
much.
the news reads like opinion pieces today.
Things were so much clearer when just about everything was locked down. Now, with states lifting coronavirus restrictions piecemeal and by often arbitrary timetables, well, it was also arbitrary how they shut it down, Americans are facing bewildering decisions about what they should and should not do to protect their health, their livelihoods, and their neighbors. My God, it's just like how things were when they had to make decisions before. 2 months ago.
When they were free.
Ish. Yeah, exactly. Is it safe to join the crowds at the beach or eat at a restaurant? To visit the elderly parents you haven't seen in nearly 2 months?
Is there no risk in hiding in your house? Have you no fear of stagnation, of boredom, of missing the opportunities that you might have had?
How about the fear of slipping in the bathtub? I mean, most accidents happen at home anyway.
It's true. It's true.
To reopen a struggling business. In many cases, the less than satisfying answer from the experts is, it depends. Josh Santaripa, a microbiology expert at the University of Nebraska Medical Center who's studying coronavirus, says, quote, there will never be a perfect amount of protection. It's a personal risk assessment. Everybody has to decide, person by person, what risk they're willing to tolerate. Well, I wish somebody would have listened to this guy 2 months ago, because that's the way life has always been, where you have to decide how much risk you want to take. And for those that don't want to take much risk, they're going to have a relatively boring, uneventful life.
Yeah, because they'll be hiding in the house by themselves. Right. That's no place to be. If maybe you want to fall in love or at least get laid someday. Or
like they said, go visit your elderly grandparents that might be in a home or something like that. Or maybe one of them's actually in the hospital dying, because you can't do that. You can't go to the hospital and visit somebody now because of this ridiculous
it's because they're dancing
stuff.
in the hallways of the hospitals.
Making videos.
Yeah, apparently they've even I've never heard of an epidemic where all the doctors and nurses went on vacation because there was nothing for them to do. Yep. They're all geared up for the pandemic that never came.
Right. That's because, in my opinion, this isn't an epidemic.
I mean, it is an epidemic in the same sense that there's a flu epidemic every year, and it's probably bad as in comparison with flu epidemics, but the numbers aren't that bad, and it's going to be a disaster, if all of these businesses shut down, run out of money, and just don't exist anymore. That's a lot of people who don't have a livelihood anymore. And is the government going to take care of them? No. The government's going to give them $1,200 and then stick them with an $8,000 bill.
Well, the government's the real epidemic because they are actually affecting people's lives in a huge way. I mean,
though they kill a lot of people.
I mean, it's hard to really... It's hard. I mean, I understand people in the chat room throw a tissy fit, some of them, when I say this, but I don't, if you don't know anybody that's died from COVID-19, then it's not really a serious problem. If you don't know anybody who's been hospitalized by COVID-19, then it's not really a serious problem. And the term pandemic suggests that this is a problem, okay? It's thrown out there as though this is a huge issue, and it really doesn't seem to be that much of a problem.
Yeah, I mean... Facebook should be awash in memorials if there was a serious, if there was a real epidemic going on, and all I'm seeing, I'm seeing all kinds of people talk about the epidemic, but not nobody's saying that they're getting sick. Nobody's saying that their friends are getting sick in great numbers. People will know like one person who got sick from it, but I mean, it's not bring out your dead, bring out your dead. This is not the Black Plague we're dealing with here. It's
right. Let's call the common cold a pandemic. It's one that's
eminently very widespread.
Right. It's eminently survivable. So nobody calls it a pandemic because it's not as scary. Right? No one's afraid of the common cold for the most part. It's very unlikely that you're going to perish from the common cold, but it sure as hell is widespread every single year. So it meets the definition of pandemic. And arguably, if this thing is as widespread as some are saying the numbers are much larger of the people that actually have this compared to what the government has tested, in which case it may meet the definition of pandemic, but it's not a deadly one.
It's the most infectious case of Munchausen by proxy that has ever been conceived by the minds of men. And Munchausen by proxy, Munchausen syndrome is where you harm yourself in order to get attention because you're sick or you're hurt. Okay. Munchausen by proxy is when you harm someone else to get attention. And that seems to be what the government is going on. It's make everybody sick in the freaking head. And it's then profiting from that disease because that focuses all attention on the government because suddenly they're the only game in town. They're the only people doing anything.
So the article at the AP continues on talking about the death tolls and then gets back into the question of, well, what do you do? How do you make choices? Jill Faust of Council Bluffs, Iowa, said she would hesitate to eat at an indoor restaurant when such businesses are allowed to reopen in her community on Friday.
Hesitate away, baby. We'll enjoy the lack of crowds.
Quote,
I will tip extra.
We would have to know ahead of time what precautions they're taking, she said, citing the way some restaurants may rely on limited seating, well-spaced tables, masks for employees, and disposable cups and plates. Even then, she said, it might not be worth the trouble.
I hope there will be some that are depending on common sense.
I hope so, too. 855, I hope they have the freedom to choose how to reopen, and I don't know if they will.
Well, you always have the freedom if you take it.
True.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Do you ever say, I could care less, when you really mean the opposite? You mean to say, I couldn't care less. It's a common mistake. You are judged by how you speak, especially if you're looking for work, with so many more applicants than openings now. But even if you're not, avoiding common misstatements will help you make the most of the dozens of conversations and transactions that crowd your daily routine. So whatever you say, don't say whatever as a single word sentence. It's the most annoying expression in the American English language, according to a recent poll. And avoid cliches like the plague. Just kidding. But seriously, at the end of the day, you'll want to avoid this scenario, sounding like everyone else. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live.
Now, in the light, there was a being. He started to moonwalk.
Are you saying Michael Jackson has come back from the alien spaceships?
And he said, I am Michael Jackson.
See, I called it.
There we go.
You talk with God throughout your life. You heard this voice that you recognized as God telling you, do you believe in magic, inviting you to look out the window, where you then saw Michael Jackson coming down from a rainbow ray of light coming from the sky. So what happened then? Did he, invite you to his playland or whatever it is he has?
9 months later, the virgin birth happened again.
Wouldn't that be ironic?
A lot of things happened that night. He asked if he could resurrect himself inside of me. I'm like, yeah.
You called it. Did you have Michael Jackson's baby?
I had Michael Jackson.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you're invited if you want to join us on the radio. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Nobody.
Check out Nobody on his website, electnobody.com. The campaign has yet to officially begin because you can't file in New Hampshire until, I think, the first week or so in June. But it's coming up, so we're just over a month away from you becoming an official candidate for governor once you file the $100 filing fee, because that's all it takes to run as a Republican or Democrat here in New Hampshire. We're still not sure what's going to happen with the Libertarian Party in New Hampshire. Libertarian Party across the United States is going to have a very difficult 2020 campaign, regardless of who it is, whether it's Vermin Supreme, Adam Kokesh, or now Justin Amash, who ends up getting the nomination. There are more candidates than three, but those are
Justin Amash is Justin Amash has the political clout to actually get on the on TV, I think.
Sure, but can he get on the ballot? That's the problem that the Libertarian Party is going to face this year. It's going to be harder than it's ever been for them to collect petition signatures.
Right.
Because people aren't leaving their homes. So normally you would go to a busy place and get petition signatures, but you can't now. So,
well, and interestingly enough, it's the government, which is exclusively run by the major parties, which has passed contradictory laws that require us, in exchange for our franchise, to do things that other laws forbid us to do. So, it seems like that's their problem, and they should eat it and put us on the ballot.
Well, there are going to be lawsuits, and I believe some suits have already been filed about this. Some states, sensing that, have gone ahead and waived the ballot requirement. So I'm told, Darryl Perry told me that Vermont has waived its ballot access requirements for the third parties, but in other states, they're going to have to sue, and it's going to be more expensive in order to overturn some of this stuff, and we'll see how it goes. But for Nobody's campaign, it'll be relatively easy to get you on the ballot. So check out electnobody.com for the latest from the Elect Nobody campaign for governor here in New Hampshire. Let's go to Mike. He's in Gold Bar, Washington, and then we'll talk more about these little scared Chicken Littles who are freaking out about having to make decisions again now that they might be allowed to go out of their houses into the open-air prison. Go ahead, Mike. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, you guys, how are you doing? Nobody, I just wanted real quickly, I got two things. One is the VA hospital and how I'm becoming less and less proud of being a vet. But my friend, his name was Glenn Boot, when they regulated gambling in Nebraska, he was the mayor of Memphis, Nebraska, and he took he was a bookie, and he took it underground, and he got busted. And he told me for years that he was going to run against the governor. I think this is 2000, the same year that Barack Obama got elected. Anyway, he wound up getting on the ballot to run against the governor of Nebraska, but because he had a felony, I don't know the whole details, but he called me up just drunk as a skunk to go online to see that he got on the ballot. And I wondered if you had any felonies and if you were kind of doing the same thing my friend did, or if it's different for you.
I'm sorry, I've lost the thread of.
I couldn't quite make out what you were saying there. You kind of lost some of your packets toward the end of what you were saying. Something about felonies and ballot access?
Well, my friend got busted in Nebraska for he was a bookie, and they deregulated gambling, and he got arrested because he was still being a bookie.
Okay.
He was also the mayor of Memphis, Nebraska. His name was Glenn Boot. But he wound up getting on the ballot in 2007 to run against. That was his life dream, was to run against
deregulation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that gambling was legal in Nebraska at one time. He was a horse guy, and then it was not legal, but he kept doing it and got arrested.
Oh, I thought you said they deregulated.
It sounds like regulation to me.
Well, yeah, if they deregulate, that means removing regulations.
Anyway,
I can tell you from experience, when they're putting you in prison, they mean to regulate you is what they mean to do.
Well, that's true, and I realize that now. The VA hospital. So I'm an amputee, a diabetic, and it's all my own fault because I was a huge, overweight, unfit person, and this is what happened. So I have to accept that. But like a month and a half ago, I had this terrible infection in one of my 3 remaining toes on my only remaining foot. And all these people that are on vacation because of this epidemic are actually going to probably cost me my other foot, because after trying their antibiotics that didn't actually work, they've like disowned me. And today I got a call from an outside source that makes shoes for the VA subcontractor saying, oh, you have an appointment with us in 3 weeks. So now the toe's like rotten. And knowing what I know from losing 7 other toes, this toe and probably the other 2 are gone. And it could actually be a foot. And it's all because of this epidemic. There's nobody at the hospital, and the hospital's empty. So a lot of people with these doctors and nurses that are just kind of right, and they're that's probably true. I'm starting to think that's what's going to happen to me someday.
Well, if it just saves one life, I mean, you got to lose a toe or 3 or a foot, but you might have saved one life. You're supposed to feel good about that, according to our masters.
Right. So I'm just starting to see you're right about these people. That the hospital's
empty. If it saves just 7 toes, it's worth going back to work.
Anyway, I'll keep you posted.
I'm
sorry
so
if
sorry
I goofed you up on the Nebraska story.
Yeah, so sorry to hear about that, Mike.
Right.
Thanks for the call. Good luck,
it's
man.
It's going to be fine. Unfortunately, if you lose a limb and you're diabetic, you are going to lose the other limb. It's a matter of time, but they've kind of like sped that process up is what's happened.
Thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate it. Good luck, man.
Sorry that's happening to you, bro.
Wow.
This is going to pieces.
Let's continue here. Oh, this will be good. James in Phoenix, Arizona. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
If corona confirmation bias virus is nothing but a mass murder committed by land choosing, by proxy, by government, which government would that be, Minister Freeman? Since Rich Nobody Paul.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't want to talk to you, so I guess that's the end of that call. 855-450-FREE. He was asking you questions. I can't answer them, so we're moving on. 855-450-3733. So, Jill Faust in Council Bluffs, Iowa, according to the AP story about people freaking out because now they have to make decisions again in their lives. They're no longer being kept completely in their homes. Now they have to choose whether or not they want to stay in their homes, according to this.
I mean, people go to work fishing for lobsters. That's like the most professional or most dangerous profession in the world.
I thought it was roofing.
No, Alaskan crab boats and lobster boats, actually.
Okay.
Because, you go in the water, you're a goner in Alaska.
Sure.
That's not a good place to fall overboard.
But what you're saying is people make risky decisions regularly. It's also a highly risky thing simply to drive to work. Even if you have the safest job in the world, it is incredibly risky just to try to get there.
Being a soldier is risky. You know, being a gangster is risky. There's lots of risky things that people do for money. That's the way of the world.
According to the story here, Savannah Mayor Van Johnson said people could find the changes perplexing. Quote, in reality,
I think we'll understand, sweetheart.
In reality, we're under a stay-at-home order until April 30th. Yet you can go get your nails done. You can go get a tattoo. You can go to movie theaters.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you can go do, baby. Karen needs to go home. Karen is drunk.
You can go to bowling alleys. It's these kind of things that leave people confused, said the mayor. Mixed messages are coming even from the U.S. Congress. The House is scrambling for ways.
Maybe having the whole establishment lying to us is what has us confused.
The House is scrambling for ways for members to work from home after a revolt over convening during the pandemic, and said they wouldn't return to the Capitol on Monday. The smaller Senate, however, does plan to convene. The decisions people make are likely to vary wildly depending on where they live and how close that puts them to known virus clusters. In Georgia, where COVID-19
She has a good eye. She can see a church by daylight.
has killed at least 1,000. Many new cases are still being reported, but even in places with fewer known infections, people are facing uneasy choices. We'll talk more about it coming up here. You can share your thoughts. Are you around any of these Chicken Littles? Is it frustrating as hell or what? 855-450-FREE. And where is normalcy in all this?
The sky is falling.
It's Free Talk Live.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
This is a Corona Crisis Self-Reliance Alert. If you're worried about the power grid in the current crisis and want to generate your own supply of off-the-grid electrical power, just in case, pay close attention. Here's why. A limited supply of solar backup generators will be available again in the next 2 weeks. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical backup power when you get off the grid. And unlike gas generators, these solar generators run quietly, emit no fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Dangerous weather, social unrest, or overloaded grids this summer will not be a problem if you go to mysolarbackup.com and get your solar backup generator. We regret that supplies are limited and only available on a first-come, first-served basis. Check availability at mysolarbackup.com. Never suffer painful power outages again. Go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com.
You've seen crazy diets to lose weight. At GCN Team, our healthy body weight loss system simply neutralizes the body, bringing down cravings. It has been proven that nutritional deficiencies drive appetite for carbs, sugars, and fats. Lose weight the easy way. Find us at gcnteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Fighting cravings is a fool's game. Give the body what it needs to be satisfied. Again, 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. You may dial toll-free here, and even in these remaining moments, take control of the airwaves. 855-450-FREE is the number. In the studio tonight with you, you've got Ian.
And nobody.
We're going to continue with more of your calls and thoughts. Just a few more pieces here from this AP, this exasperated article about how life is going to be more complicated outside of your house. You have to make choices.
You think?
According to this. And they say in Omaha, Nebraska, which is a place where there aren't very many infections at all, where businesses can reopen next week. Teachers Michelle and Mark Aschenbrenner said they're eager to dine out again. Mark has set up an appointment for a long-delayed haircut, though he does say, quote, "I think we're 4 weeks too early," he says, of the plans to lift restrictions, "but I think I'll probably still go because we've been stuck at home for 7 weeks and we're going stir-crazy," unquote. With warmer weather enticing more people to venture out in the weeks ahead, it will be up to individuals to exercise caution. So they're just stating the obvious here as though it's news.
Yeah, it's always kind of been up to you.
Yeah.
Because the government might show up and, beat you with sticks, but they're not going to help you.
Right. This is Mary Elizabeth Sexton, or rather Mary Beth Sexton, a doctor of infectious disease specialists at Emory School of Medicine. She says, quote, "You can't swear that if somebody happens to cough on the beach chair to your left and then you have a breeze that blows that over across you, that you don't have the exposure in that way," she says.
Yeah, the exposure. See, I don't care about the exposure. Exposure for 98.5% of people or something is going to mean immunity from the thing, because that's how you get immune to viruses.
You get exposed to them.
You get exposed to them, and some people die, and that's sad,
right.
But some people die. I mean,
that's life.
Every day, some people die.
Well, and that really just comes back to something that I think bears repeating, in that life is full of risk, and this is not any more risky than any other virus that we've experienced in our lifetimes. There have been much more dangerous diseases and viruses and such that have hit the population of the world in the past. This pales in comparison to it, and nothing in the past in our lifetimes has ever precipitated this sort of a crackdown, this economic disaster that has come from this. And it has been absolutely unprecedented and completely destructive of so many more lives than would have been affected by just the virus alone. I mean, the cure is definitely worse than the disease, and it's not even a cure, because all it's doing is putting off some people getting this virus. That's all. It's delaying what is probably the inevitable for them. Because you're probably going to leave your house at some point, whether it's next week or 10 weeks from now. You're probably going to leave your house unless you decide you want to spend the rest of your life in between those walls. And that means the more you're out and about, the more likely you're going to encounter somebody with the coronavirus and contract it for yourself. So you're just putting off the inevitable. What was the point? Even following guidelines to maintain a 6-foot distance may not be enough, says the AP. That rule's based on how far a different coronavirus, SARS, spread among airline passengers. When doctors treated more than a dozen COVID-19 patients at an Omaha hospital, researchers found genetic material from the virus at greater distances, on window ledges, cell phones, in hallways, and on toilet seats, said Santarpia. That doesn't mean people shouldn't go out, but they should be very deliberate in doing so, limiting visits with relatives and friends to moments that matter, said Dr. Emily Landon, who leads infection control at Chicago's Medical Center. Mother's Day, which is May 10th in the United States, may qualify if mom lives nearby, she said, but limit the people involved and wear masks the entire time, she says, even if you check to make sure everyone present has been feeling well, except that there will be risk. So just the constant fear-mongering from these people, just to try to keep people in a state of fear, is just so disturbing to me. But yet that's literally the world that we're coming back into. That it is not going to... They keep talking about how there's a new normal, that it's not going to be the way it was. They're talking about having people in restaurants, wearing masks and giving out disposable menus and just this whole rigmarole. All of it is just for show, right? Because even as they're pointing out here, they find the virus goes further than the 6 foot and all. It's all just for show. It's all to make people feel like, oh, well, they're doing something. See, they care. And it's not to say that business owners don't care. It's just that you got to take risks in order to enjoy your life. I don't understand why people think life is going to be enjoyable without risk. They don't get it.
Yeah, it's Karens, man. It's a whole world
of Karens. That's the disease. That's the real virus.
Well, the disease is that they're Karens with guns. And that's just terrifying. Not directly armed, but they've got, gangs of amoral thugs that will go out and Karen you to death for them.
Let's go to Dave. He's in Jackson, Michigan, listening, I believe, to WKHM. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, how you guys doing tonight?
Dave, what's on your mind?
Life is good.
Hey, we got Gretchen there up here in Michigan. She extended a stay-at-home order to the 15th of May.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to get the emergency orders, which are going to expire tomorrow at midnight. She's trying to get those extended to May 28th. The people went up there, and they were going crazy. The Senate majority, both in the House and the Senate, they're after her. They're filing suit on it. It's a mess.
Yeah, we covered that earlier. Your phone's a little hard to understand. It's a little muffled. But we did cover it earlier in the show tonight. The massive protest people, not the one with where they were all in the streets a couple weeks ago, which was, that was fine. But people weren't getting out of their cars as much 2 weeks ago. This time they got out of their cars. They went to the state capitol in Michigan, and they went inside the Capitol building, and they had guns, and they rightfully so were making headlines as a result of that. The state Senate or whatever house they have there did vote to apparently file a lawsuit against the governor, challenging her so-called executive authority. So things are getting pretty interesting there in Michigan. Dave, it sounds like you support this.
Oh, yeah. And like Eddie Dufresne said in Shawshank Redemption, you got to get busy living or get busy dying, my friend.
Great call. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate hearing from you. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Yep. Everything is a risk.
Right.
Everything is always a risk. You may miss the opportunity of a lifetime because you're out getting a cheeseburger or because you stayed home because somebody told you to. When your common sense is saying, where is the epidemic? Where are the bodies? Where are the grieving relatives? There
are some dead people.
There are some.
Yeah.
But, 40,000 in a nation of...
I think it's 60,000 now.
Is it 60?
Yeah, allegedly. But then again, but who are they counting?
20 million people.
But even the numbers are in question.
It's a fraction of a fraction of a percent.
And that's if you accept that number, and you don't realize that they're just totally ballooning up the numbers in order to scare more people into compliance and scare more people into total obedience, chalking up deaths that probably didn't come directly from COVID to COVID. There's all kinds of questions around these numbers.
It's the most ludicrous shakedown, I think, that I've ever seen.
It's horrifying.
It's shameless.
It's horrifying. It is the largest expansion of authoritarianism that I've seen in my lifetime. It's worse than 9/11. It's way worse.
Basically, whenever they cause a depression, okay, their banker friends have a chance to get rid of all that cash by buying up all of your goods, including your real estate, when you end up homeless. You know, that's what they did in the housing crash. You know, and that's what they're going to do again, because they've put so many people out of work that there has to be a wave of homelessness on top of that.
Absolutely.
Unless they're going to stop collecting property tax.
All right, so there's obviously lots more to talk about here, but we're not going to have time to get into any more tonight. We've got more coming up tomorrow. The Mariana's edition of Free Talk Live is tomorrow. Are we going to do an after show tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10:30 Eastern Time. You can join us on our DLive at dlive.lrn.fm and twitch.lrn.fm. Those are our video channels. Because we'll be doing that at 10:30 Eastern. Free Talk Live will be on from 7 to 10. But it will be live from the Mariana Islands, where Vin Armani is coming back. He's on the air back again with us on Free Talk Live, except he's now in the Mariana Islands. And he's going to talk about being in a FEMA camp with his family for 2 weeks as they locked him up against their will.
Good Lord.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your